All right, how you guys doing today? So this video is gonna me changing the oil on my 2013 Toyota Tundra 5.7. So pretty much what you need is I got about 8.5 quart of oil. Get your favorite 020 motor oil. This special tool for the oil filter. This homemade breather mechanism thingy where when you stick it in, it's gonna fluid come out. So I get a regular hose and attach to that piece and just kind of clamp it. So I use multiple times on all of my Toyotas and Lexus. Extension, a 10 mil socket, pretty much a 12 mil socket for the skid plate bolt. You want to torque these down to 22 foot-pound when you're done with it. And then this is the oil drain plug, the drain bolt, 14 millimeter. This one, you want to torque it down to 30 foot-pound. Okay, and this is the part number for the oil drain plug washer. And this is the Tundra oil filter part number. And then this is my homemade funnel that I screw onto the filler. Torque wrench for your torque specs. Phillips screwdriver, a flathead for the O-ring, for the cartridge. You don't need this, but I use it to loosen it up and then tighten it. But usually by hand first with all the bolts. And then pretty much the socket. This one I use for this one right here. The 27 mil, I believe. 27, yeah. And then a long ratchet, all right? And then go ahead and get your container for the oil. That's pretty much it. Let's get the process started. All right, go ahead and remove the oil cap. And then we're gonna break the 14 millimeter socket. All right, so when you're down here in the oil pan, that's the 14 mil bolt you wanna crack open, okay? All right, let's go ahead and crack that open. All right, next stop is you wanna remove the shield plate. There's there was a screw here, and here. Mine apparently fell off, or the last person who owned this car forgot to put it back in. But yeah, and then it's a little hook right here, and then there's gonna be about 3 12 millimeter bolt, 1, 2, and 3 right here. All right, and once you move the 3 bottom bolt, there's 2 more up here, 1 and 2 right here. So there's 5 total, and 3 of the fill-up. Okay, and once you remove these 3, this is gonna drop, and then it's gonna hang there. So you gotta let it drop and then shift to the right. All right, on the driver's side, that right there is the cartridge for the oil filter. Go ahead and crack this 3 with a 3/8 extension, and then we're gonna use this tool to remove the cartridge assembly itself, okay, or the cover itself. Let's go ahead and crack this open. All right, so it's going to be very slight oil dripping down, and then go ahead and use this tool, homemade tool that I got. Go ahead and stick it in. It's gonna drop it down, drop the oil down. Okay, there it is, and there's the oil coming down. Okay, right there. So let it release some oil a little bit, and then once you pull it out, it's going to release the O-ring with it. And then go ahead and crack the cartridge. All right, let's go ahead and crack this loose. All right. Okay. And here comes the cartridge. All right, so let it drop in there, and go ahead and change this O-ring right here. So we change the cartridge, replace the O-ring, and then just put it back up right there. All right. All right, let's go ahead and replace the cartridge itself, and then the O-ring, and then pretty much the instructions right here for you as well. So the cap is 9.5 foot-pound of torque, which is this guy right here. And then what I usually do is I torque this whole thing right here down to 18 foot-pound. And then the oil drain bolt itself is about 30 foot-pound. So pretty much it tells you the instructions right here as well. And this is the tool, but I already made one here. So once you pull this out, it's gonna pull the O-ring out as well. So that's gonna get replaced. Let's go ahead and replace the O-ring here. Go ahead and get like a flathead screwdriver or something. So the gasket has 2 of these. And get yourself some new oil. And just want to double check it's the right size, you know, before you put it back in. Perfect. All right. Clean this out. Okay, put the new cartridge in. And then here's the new oil, O-ring. Get some fresh oil. Loop the O-ring itself. Nice and perfect. And I want to put it in this groove right here. Okay. And then perfect, just like that. Okay. And go ahead and get the loop for this as well. Loop the bottom O-ring. Stick it in. So I'm gonna torque this last, the very last. I call it like the breather cap, I guess. So change the O-ring, new O-ring there, new O-ring there, okay? And then, all right, let's go put it back in the car. All right, we went ahead and tightened everything up already. This cartridge housing, I torque it down to 18 foot-pound. This breather valve, the breather cap right here is 10 foot-pound. And then the oil drain plug right here, with brand new gasket, I torque this down to 30 foot-pound. So when you remove this oil drain plug, make sure the old gasket is out. Okay, so that's got new. So that's 30, 10, and 18. 18 or 20, but 18 or 20 is fine. All right, let's go ahead and put some oil in. Let's go ahead and put the oil in. I used another pretty much oil bottle and just tighten it in. So like perfect. So see, doesn't go anywhere. So no need for fancy, expensive funnel. Just use whatever I have laying around. So let's go ahead and the manual says with the filter that you replace, put about it says to put 8.5 quarts. So go ahead and put 8.5 quarts of oil, your favorite oil, in the engine. Okay. All right, so we're in the car. We'll go ahead and warm up the car. But first, we're gonna go ahead and reset the oil maintenance light. So apparently that maintenance light right there is on. So what you wanna do is you wanna go to trip A. Go to trip A and then turn it off. All right, so while pretty much you gotta hold that button while you turn the ignition, the key to ACC. Do not turn on the car. I'm gonna try to do it with one hand here. Let's see if it works. All right, so it's not gonna work. So I'll go ahead and push this in, turn the key, and that's gonna count down. You see a little dot, 3, 2, 1. All right, and the maintenance light is off. So that, go ahead and start the engine. Let it run for about 30 seconds, and then we'll check the dipstick. All right, so let's go ahead and look for the dipstick. It's right here, okay? Wipe it down. Make sure when you're doing the level of the oil that you're on a flat surface, nice and equal. Perfect, at the full mark. All right, let's go ahead and put the dipstick back and then check for any leaks on the bottom while the engine is running, and then we put the pan back up, okay? All right, so go ahead and pretty much this is how the skid plate on the bottom is gonna go into the Tundra. We're gonna go ahead and put this piece goes right here where the plastic cover is. There's 3 of them. It goes 1, 2, and 3. This one's missing. So I was missing these already, so I went ahead and grabbed some of my stuff from my MR2 stash. And then there's 2 12mm socket bolt which are these guys. There's one here, and then there's one here, and there's 3 more in the back. So this is the one I was talking about. Go 1, 2, and 3. So there's 5 of these guys total. So we're gonna go ahead and put this hook. There's a little hook right here. Okay, so this hook is gonna mount into the bracket to hold it in place. And then once it's laid on there, you're just gonna slug it in, hook it to the left, and then it's gonna come straight up. Okay, so this is the 3 spot of this 3 plastic piece going to the skid plate. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then the hook goes in here. There's a little long slit right here. Hook one there and hook one right here. So go ahead and put the hook in here. It's a long oval shape. Okay, long oval shape. Okay, and lay it in there, slide it in, and then go ahead and hook it to the right, to the left, and then goes up. All right, this is how it hangs. So once you hook it in place, you see it right there, okay? So it just dangles like this. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get the 12mm socket bolt, and then we start from the back first, and pretty much hand thread all of these first. Don't just shoot in with a gun. I usually hand do the back first, which is this guy right here. Okay, do that one first, and then on the rest you just follow through. All right, let's go ahead and all right, I hand tighten up all the bolts already, and we're gonna just come and shoot it with the gun. Okay. And then with these bolts right here, I'm gonna torque it down to 22 foot-pound. 22. Good. And then this right here. And this right here. And then one more right here. All right, so let's go ahead and torque it down to 22 foot-pound. 22. All right, tie it in. Perfect. All right, let's do this for all of them.